Okay, hopefully we can have everything back up and running again. Let's get back into the game, if we can, while we're waiting on Autumn to come back up. All right. Game's loading up. Refresh. There you are. Hey, how's it going? All right. Let me get the links back out there for everyone else while we're getting back up and running. I had a couple of hiccups there. It was wanting to not connect to the chat and everything on my first attempt. So, not that I think anyone's going to show up. But, we're still a small channel, but like to have it out there. Have I watched Room? I don't know what you mean by Room. I have not watched anything called Room. Like, there we are. Let's wake up. Hopefully that is the end of our issues. Like I was having issues like popping up here as well. It was like encoding error, encoding error, encoding error. So hopefully rebooting the system helps get rid of those issues too. More resources, nothing in there. Yeah, I'll give it a look. We got Sonia. Hi.
I recommend a dish with fruit in it. It would go great with spring's atmosphere.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, sometimes like looking at this, it's like, oh geez, the water's poisoned, and I was like, I forget about that, and then you get used to it, and then you have the actual water is poisoned section of the story, and it's like, oh, it actually hurts to even step in it. But yeah, I'll give it a look later on. Leaving footprints as I was playing in the water. Alright. What can we make? Dining tables? Nope. Sprinklers? Nope. Wall lights? We know for a fact we can't do that. Copper plates, I guess. Yeah, that is the one downside of being so early. It's like, can I do this? Nope. Can I do this? Nope. Can I do this? Nope. After you get down to about the second or third abandoned ruins, then you're like, oh yeah, no, I can make it. But like, we can't afford to upgrade our work table yet. Do you have copper plates already made? I think so. Maybe? No, we do not. That is an oversight on our part. Let's make a bunch of those. Sodal? Potato pie, huh? If you're a big fan of potatoes, you might look into, there's a traditional Japanese dish called okonomiyaki, and it's kind of like a potato pancake. It's kind of the best way to describe it. We tried it from a recipe we found online once in one of my classes as a kid in high school. But, yeah, see, can't even sell this to the guy who buys everything. But yeah, it kind of tasted. It was a interesting taste, but it was very potato-ish. Actually, I don't think ours had a lot of potato in it, but it had a really unique flavor to it. Chat. Oh, I came for one person. It was Petra I wanted to talk to. Oh, Petra.
Hello?
Hi,
Research
chat.
shows in the ruins near Portia, there are a lot of valuable contraptions from the old time waiting to be discovered. It would be a pleasure to work here.
Yep, research.
Hi, did you discover something new?
Yes, I will give you 5 data discs.
That should be enough data discs. Still, if you want to expedite our research, you can submit more data.
No, you don't
The
expedite.
data corruption on these discs are minimal.
Yeah, I don't think it's something like it's like a universally liked gift. It's not like something you can sell to him. It's not like a loved gift or anything like that. But yeah, I'll show you. It's just kind of a okay, like a +2 or +3 or something like that. It's not a good, amazing gift. It's kind of a stupid in-game item. Like, we'll come over here. Nope. Can't sell it. We can find Django in here.
Hi.
Hi.
It isn't the young builder. Pull up a seat.
Gift him this. Unknown recipe.
Oh, are you giving this to me? I'm sure I'll have a use for it. Thank you.
Recipe +1. That's all it is. It's relationship +1. It is a absolutely useless item. Like, there's like what you're thinking of. There's like he actually gives you a side quest to find something, or you find something. You're like, ooh, hey, let's go get this to Django and find out what it is. But this is just something you randomly find in ruins. Alright, it is late enough in this day. Let's go in here, dive in while the copper plates are being made, then we'll go get the court tomorrow afterwards. There we go. So we make our way towards the bunch that we found got marked on the map. There we go. Gotta find them engines. I mean, I guess we could go into the frickin' hazardous ruins to do that, because they're pretty reliably found there, but you know. We've already paid for this week, so we'll do the hazardous ruins next week. Chop, chop, chop. I do love how the hazardous ruins are just like, oh yeah, no, time doesn't move while you're here. There you go, you're good. But it costs you so many hours to go between floors, and costs you some stamina points too. I don't remember if they stop your stamina loss while you're in there in this one or not. Like in Sandrock, it doesn't cost you any stamina to do anything that you're doing in there. So the hazardous ruins are really useful in there. But they've also got something akin to like the what are they called? The endless ruins, or one of the ones at the bot at the end, where like you have the rankings, like the A score, B score, and all that kind of stuff. S score. They apply that to all of them in Sandrock. So it's like you got to rush through and get through as fast as you can to get the best score. But you still got to kill everything as well, because you're getting points for kills. Enjoy your ice honey bun. while we were rebooting, I had my chocolate protein shake. Rusted iron pipe. Let's find something. I'm basically right on top of it now. Aha, there we go. There's two over here. But yeah, like afterwards I'm gonna go make like some pork chops for dinner, and then I'm gonna try and relax a little bit tonight. Like I said, I'll probably play some Persona 5. I'm in the middle of one of the late game dungeons. It was the I don't want to spoil it, but it's the guy who looks like the big bad until you realize who the real big bad is. It's his palace. I guess it's like the final individual person's palace. We'll call it that one. Although in Royal, that's not actually the case either, because, you know, the new third semester dungeon is a single person's palace, but you know what I mean if you played the game. It's the cruise ship. It's a fun dungeon. Ooh, we got an engine. That's perfect. That is 4 or maybe 5. We'll double check when we get back to the stuff. We might have enough engines to finally build our DD transports if we had a level 2 work table, which we don't. So that's a thing we're gonna need to be working towards, is getting a level 2 work table. So we can make like yep. Okay, we officially have 5 engines now. Good times. Once we can make the DD transports and maybe some of the DD stands, once we got like the bronze plates and all those put together for all of that stuff, bronze pipes, etc., we'll be good to go for advancing the story. Building the frickin' bridge. I have had microwave honey buns before. They're good. You know, like I said, there's a lot of really sweet things that I enjoy the taste of that I'm like, gotta be very sparing with them nowadays. You know, my metabolism is slowed down from what it was when I was your age, but can you choose to do the transport with your paw? He doesn't show up until like, yeah, he's the DD transport thing is way before you even get a letter from him. Like, you have the initial letter at the start of the game, and that's the only time you hear from him until like around the time that you finish the harbor, and DD transports are way early on. Yeah, you're 23. I'm 38, and I turned 39 in a month. You know, so like, yeah, you know, my metabolism at 23 versus what my metabolism now, night and day. You know, part of it is the stress of, you know, some of the jobs I had, like when I was in the military, and, you know, the very sedentary job, just sitting all day on a truck driving, which is, I have to make sure I get up and moving around a lot more this time around than last time, and so on. 30 is old. That is my you know, standard has always been, it's a 30-year scale. You know, under 30 you're young, once you hit 30 you're old, 60's really old, 90's ancient, and 120 is just like, what the heck are you still doing alive? But it's not even that old. I mean, you at 23, your body has changed drastically from when it was when you were 16. Like, your hearing is not as acute as it was. Like, you'll have certain retail stores where they'll have this really, really high-pitched tone that's in there because they know that teenagers can hear it, but even, like, once you get into, like, above 18, 20, and all that, you start losing your ability to hear that range. So adults, the people that they want in there actually doing the shopping, rather than just teenagers coming in and hanging out, can't hear it. So it's it's an annoyance against those they don't want in there. You know, and the brain doesn't even stop developing. Like the whole start drinking at 21 thing. It's like, well, your brain doesn't stop developing until 24. Oops, I went the wrong. Should have. I don't think we're gonna get Nora tonight. We'll try. I might have to get the mod that lets me go into the places that like the apartment building and all that after hours. But I don't think we're gonna get those proper plates in time to turn to her. Can we deliver them in time? Probably not. Or maybe we can. Doesn't look like looks like she's out loose and about, not in the apartments yet. Oh, there's Sam and her pimp outfit. I love that DLC for her. Some characters, no, not so much. Her, absolutely. Oh, I bet she's out back here with Arla. Yep. And I love that they got that little, oh, we're, hi!
I can hear the song of the spring. The color flowers are its notes. The breeze is its rhythm.
Okay, you have synesthesia, sounds like. Well, hello, Maggie! Welcome to the stream! You missed out on the little hiccup we had earlier. So, welcome to a properly running stream. So, well, tell us, Maggie, you missed our question of the day is, what kind of guides do you like seeing for, let's say, Portia and Sandra? Hi.
If you plan to visit other cities, I'd advise you to have a civil corps escort. Some years ago, Adit went to Huteo Town alone to get seeds. He was trapped by monsters for 2 days on the way back. Fortunately, Dower found him and told us. We were able to rescue him in time.
He didn't say Walnut Grove. I didn't catch what he said because the chihuahuas went off. But yeah, welcome, Maggie. We have we usually have a question of the day. I didn't repost it when we got back into this is our part 2 of today's stream. But usually I'll start us off with the question of the day, and so like today's was, what kind of guide videos do you want to see for Portia and Sandrock? And yesterday's was, well, now that we're done with Harvestella, this is our last stream. What do you guys want to see? What platform are you playing Portia on, Maggie? You said you're trying to get used to the controllers. Are you playing it on like PC with the controller? Or are you playing on Switch? Like Autumn is playing on Switch. I'm playing on PC. And yeah, I don't know that I would say Gus isn't done today. He's not quite that extreme. I think he's just really, really protective of his sister. But he's not like, you will love me or I will kill you kind of thing. Okay, so you're both Switch players. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly can't speak to the Switch playing experience on it. I haven't picked it up. I was one of the backers, for the game way back on Kickstarter. Back when it was still in the alpha and the beta stages, before we even had like early access on Steam for it. Like the only way to get in to play it before it was full released was doing it that way. So, I've been playing it for forever. Sort of. We'll put those in here medals. But yeah, since you are new to the game, what is something universal to the game? Not like the platform specific stuff, like what do I do with controls here, but what are some guides that you would like to see for Portia? Yeah, outbidding at the last second happens all the time. It is a thing. There are people who make their entire careers out of outbidding and then reselling it, scalping it, and there's some pretty just nasty practices with eBay and stuff like that. Or you'll have like couples that like the alternate person will be like, oh, always in there, and oh, they didn't come around and get it, so we'll reach out to you, the second highest bidder, and they're just constantly jacking the price up. Kind of things. There's absolutely some terrible practices on eBay. It's Saturday. I didn't need to rush to turn that in, but whatever. It's Saturday. Oh wait, it's Saturday, and we are C rank now. Yep, found something new. Oh, it's gonna take 4 days. Well, that's fine. We're not in a rush. But because we're C rank now, we should be able to get in there and do the inspections, I think. Alright, what do you want, Django? Making a sword?
On guard. Ha! Watch out, young one. Your reaction speed is way too slow.
My practice sword is getting worn. I need a new one for my morning exercise. Have at it.
Sure. Oh, you need a bronze sword. Ugh. What's the time limit on that? Okay, we've got 7 days to get up what we need to level up our workbench. Do we have that recipe? Oh yeah, it's absolutely worth the $50. Don't feel bad about that. I mean, yeah, it'd be better if you could get it cheaper, but I've been playing this game for years and I still love it. Like I said, I've been playing it since it was early access, and I guess we are not high enough rank to do these. I thought we were going to have the inspections. Are we still D rank? No, we're C. We're 3rd place. Huh, okay. Yeah, it's an older game, so you probably would have to find it, like, I don't know if Play Asia would have a copy, but like certain like places like that, or it's probably like a EU copy or something like that. Actually, while I'm up here, let's see what we need. You have enough money? Probably not. You only have 2,000. Hi, Albert.
Have you ever met Gust's sister? Oh, she looks so fair. She doesn't come outside very often. I've only seen her a few times.
Alright. How much goals do we need? Because I think I have all the other ingredients and I just need to go pick them up. Oh, we need 10,000 goals. We are not going to get his thing made. At all. There is no way we're going to be able to raise 10,000 goals. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong thing. That's the house. That's 2,000 goals. That's much more manageable. Yeah, we just need to go grab the old parts and wooden boards. Let's go make some wooden boards. I don't think I have 20. I think I have 16, so I need to go pop some of those in there. And And there's doggy chaos out there. That hopefully you guys can't hear. Yeah, we can base reports. Let's check the tech. Yeah, we have the 6 engines. We have all the engines we need. Oh no, absolutely. Why would I mind you subscribing? I love people subscribing. I love people coming in and joining on the streams. You know, the first several weeks before Autumn became a regular, it was like, yep, I am sitting here talking for 3-4 hours, trying to just make fun of this game. You know, and it's like, okay, yep, nope, no one else is here. Yay, but I love having people here. I would absolutely, there's no minding whatsoever that you're here. And, you know, I hope you enjoy, I hope you really enjoy your new copy of Portia. You know, I hope you enjoy it. It's a great game. You know, we're going to be playing it. In case you haven't heard, Maggie, I am going back to a profession as a truck driver later this week. So it won't be streaming every week anymore. It'll hopefully become every other week, but it's probably going to be 3 weeks between now and the next one. So, you know, next weekend I'll get out onto my truck, and then 2 weeks from that we'll do the next stream, and then we'll do Portia one day, and we'll probably just do Rune Factory 5 the other day. This one. So, get bronze in there. Yeah, we need all the bronze. All of the bronze. And you've asked me this before, Autumn. I don't know what I'm even going to adopt Pinky this time around. I might adopt Strats. Or, you know, we'll see. I mean, honestly, Pinky's a good name for Pinky anyways. Oh yeah, no, like I said, I'm here. I do have videos, like the being on the truck shouldn't interfere with the weekly videos, the Thursday videos. So like our question of the day is, hey, what do you want to see videos on for Portia and Sandrock, you know? But it's that same kind of thing of, well, it's just I won't be able to be free in a home, you know, because truck driving, you're working every single day. But yeah, absolutely. You know, the notifications absolutely help. Also, follow me on there's links in the description for both my Twitter account and the Discord channel. And if you get on those, like you'll know in advance. Like, hey, I'm gonna have home time this weekend. Get ready for a stream. We're gonna be looking at Rune Factory 5. We're gonna be doing this, that, and the other. Getting old talker pieces. Ooh, we got a few of these. Well, it's good times. We got a good little haul here. Yes, you need a special kind of license to drive a truck. It's not just a normal driver's license. It's called a commercial driver's license, and there's different qualities of it. So like there's like a Class B, which is with like a passenger's endorsement, which is like what you would use to drive a bus. Mine's a Class A. Like the class is based on how much weight your vehicle would have. So like mine's a Class A. It's the heaviest vehicles you can have. I can drive up to like 80,000 pounds. But yeah, we're just in here, we're chatting, enjoying the game. You know, I'm supposed to be leaving Tuesday, and for all the problems that trucking has, and I'll be the first to admit that both the industry and the individual job have issues, I loved doing it. And there were times when, even after I came off the truck and I was working in real estate, getting paid, okay, not amazing, but it was like I just didn't have the same job satisfaction. So I'm actually looking forward to it. Yeah, there you go. What are you cooking for the kids? Is it, chicken nuggets with ketchup and mayonnaise, as we had the discussion of earlier? I've already been in that thing, I'm pretty sure. Let's check it out. I think that's been to this spot. For the real estate, at the end I was making 20 an hour, which isn't bad per se, but near the end of my time as a truck driver before I came off the truck, the way you get paid for that is you get paid by the mile. So like I was making 51 cents per mile, which doesn't sound like much until you realize that, on a day that I'm just driving down the highways, I'm going 66 miles an hour. That's a little over $33 an hour. So, it's truck driving is good money. Yeah, truck driving, like I said, truck driving you get paid by the mile. I mean, where I'm going to be located at, my dispatch and all that will be out of California. So even if I'm like on the clock but not driving, I'll get paid at least 15 an hour. Because that's the California minimum wage. But yeah, it's absolutely by the mile. And you're working every day of the week. It's the truck driver's work week is an 8-day week rather than a 7-day week. Like your paid week is still 7 days, but you have what is called an 8-day, 70-hour clock. So like you can't do more than 70 hours on duty and keep driving over an 8-day period. And after that 8 days, you get your hours back. So, you have those drivers who go like, oh, I'm just going to burn my clocks down. I'm going to do 10 hours a day, and then after 6 days, it's like, well, there's my clock, 6, 7 days. But, if you're smarter about it, it's like, yeah, you do about 8.5 hours, between 8.5 and 9 hours. It's exactly 8 hours and 45 minutes. Each day makes up 70 hours, 8 days. Then you can always keep running. I used to run, I'd only be home 3-4 days a month, but it'd all be all at once instead of, every other weekend like I'm trying to have it be in this time around. Back then, we had the channel back then. If you go back and look at some of the older stuff, like, they weren't streams, it was just me reporting, but no, my Let's Play for, like, Pokemon, I forget if it was Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon, one of the two. Because it was supposed to be, like, in honor of Sword and Shield coming out, but I had so many technical difficulties and all that when we got delayed. Yeah, I mean, not everybody drives, I had a teacher in high school who couldn't drive. He was legally blind. Like, his eyes twitched back and forth. You could visibly watch them twitching. And so he was, he wasn't allowed to drive. So he rode a bike to and from work. Yes, my time at Sandrock. What about it? It is the sequel to this game. It is fun. I think it has better gun mechanics too, but it has better mechanics in a lot of ways. And just digging and digging and digging. We're gonna have our resources hopefully by the end of this. You're looking at the live. Look carefully at there's live and then there's the actual videos. There's the older stuff. Or maybe Sandrock, or maybe the Pokemon was live. I don't know. I'd have to take a look. But, yeah, I have older... Before Harvestella, it was like, I did a little bit of Sandrock stuff, but that had issues, and I did a little bit of, like, my Sandrock was hey, let's do a pre-look, and I tried to do a stream that, for whatever reason, technical issues again, just cut out 20 minutes in. but it was the like for those of us who had access to it. It was like a week before early access officially was up, and we got the NDA taken off. We could start showing it and all that, which I had been looking forward to. And then I got back on the truck with my thing. No, Sandrock is not on Switch yet. They're still developing it. It's not even fully developed for PC yet. They've got about 2/3 of the game completed, story-wise. So it's one of those ones like, I was a backer for both this and Sandrock. And so as a backer, we got access. We got to be like beta testers and alpha testers and all that. So they're gonna do it, but right now their biggest focus is on finishing the story at least, and then they'll start doing the ports and modding those ports and updating and all that. Because like Portia apparently still has some glitches on Switch that it doesn't have on PC. Because again, PC is the original location. They built it for PC. Yeah, no, that's understandable. Pathea Games is a pretty relatively newish developer. They've got a few games under their belt, but they're a largely newer indie developer. The Meiji traditional hat. We'll have to sell that or something, or make another clothes thing. Let's see. Pop that there. Pop that there. We can look at the home panel. I put that there. That's gonna be. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Ha! We have to level up our house to get any more stamina. We've broken, and the house. We've broken both the stamina and health boosts with this place. But yeah, Pathea is relatively new. They have a few games out there, but they're most well known for Portia and Sandrock. Some of the others they have, I think, are like Super Buckyball. Oh, the kitties are still in here. They're both just sleeping. They are always chilling and being close and sleeping. Old talker piece. All right, we got that one built. Or we can build it. I think we can build that one. We can build this one. We can build that. We can build that. Can't build that yet. Can't build that. I mean, cats in general are spoiled. Anybody who has kitties spoils their kitties. Alright. Sort all. Nope, wrong one. Raw materials. That's a beast drop. Put that in cloth. Put that in beast drops. Beast drops. Beast drops. Beast drops. Sort. Do. I am not familiar with that name, the Spoonful of Ragdolls. I mean, there's absolutely other YouTubers that I, watch stuff like that. Obviously, don't do. But it's also, what have I got time for, and do they do something that I'd be interested in, and et cetera, et cetera. And All right. Let's refuel. Restock. Oh, it's a cat person? Yeah, okay. I'm not big on cat videos. I mean, every now and then, but it's not like, oh, I have to watch this cat video now. Alright, let's see. I need 20 of those. 5 of these. Hello, Laura.
I thought Portia was a boring place compared to Atala. Boy, was I wrong.
Wow, she says it as a Tala. And this is one of the things, Maggie, that you'll notice about this game. And it's not just Portia. I mean, Skyrim has the same thing, where there's not very good direction for the voice actors, and so you'll have like some characters that will pronounce something one way, and then others that will pronounce another way. So, like this one, two good examples. You'll hear Portia versus Portia. There's a character whose name is spelled Tody, and it's some people will pronounce it Toddy, and others will pronounce it Toady. She gave the example, it's Atara versus Atala. That's the first time I've heard that one, but they just don't do a good. They didn't do a good voice direction for their actors. And part of that on this crew's part is that English is not their first language. These guys are these are Chinese. This is a Chinese development agency. It can take a long time. But that's the thing with this game is absolutely take your time with it. It's one of those. I was recording earlier today a video, which is going to be going up on Thursday. And one of my first tips and it's going to be a similar tip for Sandrock, is don't rush the story. You might be like, oh, but I want to go here and I want to go do this and I want to get all this stuff. Absolutely don't rush it. Take your time, build up all your supplies. Like bronze, for example, you will late game even still be like, man, I need bronze. I need to go get some bronze. Because you use it for so many things. And even right after you build the bridge, really shortly after you'll have a quest to build let's see where wrong button. Handbook. To build the DD transports. And you need 5 of them. That's why you keep hearing me go, ooh, I need engines, I need engines, I need engines. Woohoo, we got 5 engines! Because I need to make 5 of these. And they're only up there for a limited time. Normally you can get only 1 commission per day, which they instruct you on very early on. But every now and then, because of the story progress, you'll have like these special commissions. You can take 1 of them at a time as well. But then you can turn it in and go pick up another one. So like if you do the work in advance and build up your 5 DD transports, then you can go, okay, now you guys want us to do the DD transports. Let me go pick up that one, turn it in. Go pick up the next one, go turn it in. All in the same building, back and forth. And that's a great way to build up your workshop level, build up your money, etc. And those are, and everything. One of the things that I love about this game, really love about this game, is how all of the systems are so interconnected. So for example, one of the things that I brought up in that video that I'm gonna have to record is, okay, you want to make money to buy the largest upgrade to like your land so you can buy a bigger house and all that. Well, how do you make the money? Well, there's all these systems. You have the market value system. You buy low, sell high. You've got all the commissions to make money. You've got your relationships. So, for example, the house one, your relationship with Gail, the mayor. You build him up to a good friend, you get a 25% discount on purchasing your land. Same thing with his son Gust or Albert. You get discounts with them for upgrading the house and stuff like that. So there's so many layers of, okay, you've got the crafting, which leads to the money making, which leads to the relationships, which leads back into all of these, and everything kind of flows together so well, as opposed to some games like, we were recently playing Harvestella, and it's like, here's the farming section, here's the RPG section, and aside from this little bit between where the farming is where you make your money for the RPG upgrades, or as for your healing ingredients for out in the dungeons, that's all it has integrated together. Like the two subtabs are separate. Rune Factory is also another good game where they're so integrated because you go out to the dungeons, you get the materials, that you come back and you craft those into new, better weapons and armor and food and gifts for the villagers and so on. And it's the same here. That's one of the reasons I love both Rune Factory and Portia. We can upgrade that craft now. It can be a guessing game, but just like Stardew, there is a wiki. So, I will build one of these. Ugh, I need an upgrade kit for it. Dang it. Oh well. I'll have to go buy another one later on when I get access to, yeah, these guys need iron. I'll need 2 for the iron stuff, but it'll be a while until I can make iron. Ooh, classic fishing rod. That's manganese. But yeah, everything in this game is just so intertwined, so it's like, go at your own pace. Don't let the story rush you, except for times like, Django Sword, for example. This side quest, this has a time remaining. This is one that's like, okay, yeah, we'll let you rush me here, because you need this done. But this has no time limit. And he's inside. Hello, Pinky. Now, we just see you all the time because we haven't unlocked scraps yet.
Hey! Spring has like the cutest dresses. The colors and patterns are so vibrant. See you!
So, yeah, chat with people, build up relationships.
Now this takes me back to my younger days, when I was receiving my first sword. Great work. Very balanced.
And as you learn later on, he's not really a knight, despite what he calls himself. He likes to think he's a knight, but they're like, no, you're not. Knights are so rare because you have to have like 3 other knights confirm you, and so it's kind of dwindling away, and blah, blah, blah. But that will come much later in the story. Excellent. We have what we need now to start making some of the ingredients to make a DD. Let's see. Those would be here. Rubber tires. We need 15. Single seats. We need leather. We might have to go on a killing spree again. Let's see. How much leather can we make? Yeah, we need to go on a killing spree. We need to go kill some llamas for their fur. Punch you! That's right. I'm gonna punch you! No fur. It's all worn fur, which absolutely later on I will absolutely love worn fur, but I want proper fur now. Well, welcome back, Autumn. We didn't even know you left. You didn't tell us you left. Were you busy with your Waku Waku Sweets or whatever the proper name of the game is? Also, a bit of a note for you, Maggie, if you're watching. There are sections like these guys over here, this group of colorful llamas, in these bushes closest to the other gate, and like these Mr. Ladybugs over here. If you kill them all, or like maybe a specific one, I'm not sure, they will spawn a bigger, higher level version. So like these guys are like level 2 to 4. When I kill them, shortly after, there'll be like a level 20 version that will spawn and come out here. And for these guys, of course, the llamas, they're not hostile, but some of the others, like the ladybugs, they will actually be absolutely hostile. So let's clear some space so we can find him when he shows up. Down the trees and the bushes. Yeah, looks like I didn't kill the right one. Alright. That should be all of you. There he is. The Cotton Llama, level 21. But these guys are useful because they're one of the only drops of a certain kind of cloth that you'll find. These are the ones that pop back up when they do that. Yep. It's not every group, but they do happen, and so like you'll get that flexible fiber. These ones that do that are the only ones that can drop that. So like again, the ladybugs over here. But like for the llamas, it's only once per day, and it's only this section here, but it's not like the llamas over there or the ones that are over there. Same thing with the ladybugs. It's only this little group here. And the Mr. Ladybugs will only spawn one Mrs. Ladybug per day. So it's, there's a few places around the map that you'll find that, but again, they can always do it once per day. But they're also sometimes useful for other drops, like, for example, these sunglasses I'm wearing, the triangle sunglasses, those are a rarer drop from that Cotton Llama, the big white one that has the sunglasses on him. And they're good, like, plus 12 to defense, Ooh, got some fur. Good. I need more regular fur, not worn fur. Because I need, like, 2 to something per leather. And I'm gonna need a lot of leather. Let's go back over here and kill the Mrs. Ladybug now that she spawned. Should have spawned. There she is. Yep, she's attacking. The others are passive. Not her. Yeah, I don't know what weapons you... I'm getting just stun locked here. Yeah, it's also going to depend on what your weapons are and all that. Like, because I'm a backer and all of that, I have access to, like, these clothes here that you won't have access. The welding set, the steel lions, which are like 100 attack. That wasn't from DLC, but these are for, like, backer stuff. So, you'll probably be a little bit in-game until you can get to better stuff. Like, the bronze sword will probably be the best weapon you have for a while. Yeah, the birds that you're talking about, those are what we were talking about earlier, the pinecocks and the poppycocks. That's another example. You fight the pinecocks and then, kill them, and then a poppycock will spawn, which is a more aggressive version, and so on. Wow, all of that, I only got 2 fur. That is annoying. But it is what it is. Put those in there. Come on, llamas. Give me some fur. And it might also be depending, like, the drop rate might be based on the level of the monsters. So these guys might not be the best way to get regular fur. Might get better chances in the hazardous ruins from, like, the banger rats. I could actually check that. Let's see. Fur. Ooh, we got 2 more. Let's see. Ha! Hand hats also. And commonly dropped by the Slurpees. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I need to go to the Hazardous Wasteland tomorrow if I want more fur. But let me see. I think there's a spot over here with the pan bats. It's similar where they get a vampire bat that grows, and it's a pan bat in like a goth cape kind of looking thing. Let's see if we can find it. I forget what it is. You can find them up here. Oh, pan bats. Here we go. There he is. The Vampanda. He's got like a little bow. Yeah, don't listen to her, Maggie. Marry whoever you want. Game. You know, like my personal playthrough, I've got Ginger. For this one, I think we've decided it's going to probably be Phyllis. That's. I do need to kill you guys for your bat's wings, anyways, because they're like, oh, we need this. Give us, the Sleepy Panda Eye Mask or whatever the heck it's called. Gotta love the rainy days when you don't know what time it is until you actually look down at your clock. It's like, oh yeah, no, it's dark all day. Oh well, it's on Saturday. Never mind. But I think tomorrow we'll finish up the abandoned ruins, and then we'll start hunting the Slurpees once our ruins thing expires. We absolutely want to get some more bronze, though. Never have enough bronze. And late game, it's like you never have enough iron. Especially for, there's a type of iron, it's basically steel. You combine it with, it's a carbon iron, or carbon steel bar, I think is what it's called. Where you mix iron with charcoal, and it's like, yeah, you need all those, like, I've got like 300 of them, and I'm still like, no, I'm gonna need 50 just for this one project, Wow, I am not getting hardly any fur. Lots of work fur, though. Just has, you'll find these books on, like, architecture and stuff like that in some of the ruins, and those are what he likes. Those are his, like, most loved gifts. Which is one of the reasons, like, Autumn's like, oh man, you find these all the time, he's easy to build. Like, I married his sister on my other playthrough, but because I married her, it's like, to get him to not come along with on our dates, I had to get his relationship up, and I had to get her dad's relationship up, and all that. And everyone all gives you good stuff. Like, you're not going to marry Mars, but he gives you discounts in his store. The all 3 of the Civil Corps members, Sam, Arlo, and Remington, they give you boosts to your combat stuff, and then at romance or like life, they'll give you things that affect their commissions. Albert, you can date Albert, and he gives you, like less materials that you need for your homestead upgrades. He's just a friend, and then He'll give you gifts first thing in the morning if he's your husband, which Ginger does something similar with food. So, just date who you want, relationship who you want, get to know all the characters, and pick who you want to marry. Don't be afraid to marry, you know, if you want to marry one of the Hulu brothers, go for it. They don't really give you much of anything for it, but if you like that character, go for one. Every character's gonna have perks, and you know, only some of the perks are because you're in a relationship with them. You know, you get bonuses from Gus from just being his friend. You can check his thing here. Buddy, you get 3% less cost for homestead upgrades, 10% discount in his store. Lover, it only jumps up to 6% and 20%. And then at husband, it's a 25% discount in the store, but the store is not where the money costs are like. It's the homestead upgrades. And even those are not as expensive as the actual land upgrades from his dad. Dr. Shu, let's take a look. I forget what his is. I know we've met him. Here he is. Perk-wise, you get discounts in the store. He'll send you gifts in the mail. At Good Friend, you get extra health points. You just automatically have an extra 100 health. And those are just for friends. You don't have to be in a relationship with him. As your lover, which is like you become a boyfriend, girlfriend kind of thing, you get a higher discount, 25% in his store. And as a husband, he, like some of the others, will help out sometimes with the resource gathering and domestic work, and sometimes give you gifts first thing in the morning, which this is a really common perk. Emily, for example, has something very similar where, she'll help out with domestic work and resource gathering, but in her case, you get a 50% discount at her food stall. Um, Ginger gives you gifts in the morning, but she doesn't help out around the property because she's so frail and weak. Like her relationship perks. But hers, she gives the bonus that like her dad will just come and give you money every now and then. Um, and you can see she doesn't have great relationship perks. Buddy, just by becoming friends, you receive a mysterious gift. It's like a recipe for a certain accessory. And then wife, yeah, Gail gives you stipends, but it doesn't happen often. I've been married over an entire season with her, and I haven't gotten one yet. But I still married her because she's got a fun story and she's a challenge. And marry who you want. Get to know the people. Oh yeah, your husband's into yeah, that's yeah, go for it. She actually does have some relationship perks though. She gives you discounts on her store, just like every other store shop and keeper. So, all right. And we have some stuff to put in here. New stop. Drops. Doot doot. Oh, I need to get more caterpillars. But yeah, there's so many choices. Get to know the characters. Don't focus so much on the romance side of things early on. Just get to know everybody, and then make your decision for romance based on that. Because like you said, there's so many choices. I love Sam as a character, but like romantically, it's like, oh yeah. And here's the interesting thing: you can tell just looking at him. Kind of like how Stardew has the single boyfriend, girlfriend, married, whatever. You can tell like Django has the heart versus Presley the stars. These are going to be characters that's like okay, you can romance them or just friends. And there's actually we talked about this. I won't spoil it for you. Although if you go back through the streams, there is one character who starts out as a star or as a heart, but later shifts to a stars. like, one of their character quests is, hey, let's go on a date. And they decide afterwards, no, I don't really care for that. Woohoo! We got 4,000 goals and 10 data discs. We got rank 3 in the things. Which may not seem like much, but we jumped up. And we're in summer now. I didn't realize we were already in summer. So here's our new month looking up ahead. Got the martial arts tournaments. I love this. This is one of my favorite festivals. And the Day of Memories is also fun. Although it's really only one day. It's just late night and then goes into the early morning. But I love the martial arts tournament. It's just such a fun, flavorful tournament. You know, the land run is okay. It's like a horse racing kind of thing. The autumn festival is fun. It's a lot of fun. The snowball battle was all right. The winter solstice is pretty good with the hot pot. You got your fishing days, kind of boring. The day of the bright sun's kind of fun. Oh yeah, third place is nothing. It's, you'll have to, by the time about midsummer, if you're doing commissions every single day, you should be hitting first place. You'll overtake Higgins is the first place, and you'll just stay there the rest of the game. Because it's all the points that you've built up. So, like, your first thing in the morning you're going to do is you're going to run up here and get your commissions every single day. Except for Saturday and Sundays. Those days you don't have to rush, but you'll come up here and you'll get the inspection thing done. Once your rank gets high enough, it unlocks things. It's rank B. I thought it was rank C. But it's absolutely worth it. I'll show you why here in a minute. Let me get my commission for the day. No, I can't. Well, yeah, actually, I can't make wallets now. Dark coffee table. Simple desks. Wood boards. We'll try the wall lights. I have the recipe now. But the big thing and important thing is, you come over here to the workshop rankings, you'll get up here, once you get to the rank 1, your first place, which you can see. Like, it'll take me a bit to overtake Higgins, but yeah, you start at the bottom and you jump up real fast if you're doing the commissions. But you really want, like, yeah, okay, the lucky chest is nice, the goals are nice, the data disc is nice, but it's really this one, the dragon suit. And this will change every month what it is. But every single one of these is a unique, like, if the dragon soup, if like I get that at first place at the end of summer, then I eat that. It's a meal that I can eat and get permanent boost to +1 to defense, and there's another one for +1 to your attack. And they give all these permanent boosts to your stats. That's really, really the biggest thing for getting reward for rank 1. Everything else, like the lucky chest, is like, here, have a piece of furniture. Yeah, just a random piece of furniture. But it's absolutely, I love it. And it's like, once you get to your second year, it's like they reset everything. All your workshop points for that year get reset. But it's just like, by that point, you're like, you're S tier, or you're like A or S tier rankings. And so you have access to all these really good recipes and things you can make. And it's just like, yeah, I'm going to make this, and you just automatically jump back into the first place because you're making things so good, so fast that you're beating Higgins. The water tank will come up in the course of a couple quests. You'll also have, like, certain commissions. Like, most commissions, we'll go look at them here in a minute once I turn this in. Or we'll go run by there. To see if I can look at it and if it'll let me here. I might just say no because I've got one already. But let's see if it'll let me pull it up. But yeah, you start in last place. You just have to work to build it up. But like you see, most commissions will have like this with the characters thing on here. Every now and then you'll have one that doesn't have this. It's just a, hey, we need X, and it's usually a bigger thing. So like the water tank, or we had one last week, which was building the wood bridge heads, turning into 2 of these. And you'll just come over and turn those into Antoine over here, and those will be the ones that pay the best. With both, they'll be harder to do things, so that'll be things like the water tank, the bridge again, like I said, and so on, and you'll turn them into him. But they'll pay better, they'll give you better rewards, so on. So those are like, ooh, I see one of these, I know I can make it, let's do that. But yeah, I mean, even earlier this stream today, Sophie had a quest like, hey, can you build me a water tank? And it's like, yeah, great, I'll go do that. You're gonna give me a freaking pumpkin pie for it. It's not a great reward, but you know, every commission you can do it, gets you the reputation, gets you some money.
Hey,
Hi.
stop by if you need any supplies.
Well, I'm stopping by to turn this in. Not bad, this is your commission fee, thanks. And as you level up, there's we're starting to get it over here. There's a one called Commerce Hotshot on your skills, and you can see I'm like 20s, and I'm only just starting to get it. That'll get you more money, more points, more money from doing commissions. So that'll help you also later on. But absolutely, the first one you should be buying should be intensive training way over here. So you get more experience, 25%. Because, once you've reached max level and you don't need it anymore, you can go to Phyllis and respec and then choose to redo all your points. But yeah, you'll have, sometimes there will be a commission on the commissions board for something like that. But yeah, you can build them and you can sell them. So let's take a look over here. Today's not a great day for selling, but you have the market price over here when you check the stores. It can get down as low as about 80% and as high as 126, 130%. So, buy low, buy on days when it's in the 80s on price and sell on the days that's 120% or higher. And yeah, you can build things like the bridgeheads, the water tank, etc., and you can try and sell them to Polly over here, or if not him, then Mars over here at Total Tools. So, and that's a good way to make money. It's not so much what you sell as when you sell it, but for example, I'll go build a water tank. I think I got the materials for it. And then we'll go sell it. It'll be a little cheaper than normal because it's a 98%, but it'll show you, hey, I can make money doing this. And it's not a bad way to make money outside of your commissions, because early on your commissions don't pay great. But let's say the water tank. We're just talking about that specifically. Okay. 4 wooden boards, 5 stone bricks. Let me get those out of my boxes here. I'm in the same box too. And it's got made. And so I can pick it up and look at it, and it sells for 113 goals. It doesn't sell for great, but it sells. And of course, because it's a 98% day, it'll take a couple goals off of that, so I'll probably sell it at 109 or 110. Or I can save it for a plus 20% day, so it's 120% or 121%, and I can make an extra 20 or 30 goals off of that. So it's all about, when you sell it as much as what you sell. And yeah, I will go sell that. Just the demonstration was there. Put these away. I have a couple other things I need to sell anyways, like the brackets and the iron bars. Because those are absolutely pointless. They're such big stats, and no one ever needs them for anything. Yeah, we were talking earlier. There's a few items in the game that are just kind of like, why does this exist? There's one that's called, you'll find it in the ruins every now and then, called Unknown Recipe. You can give it in. It's a universally liked gift. It's like a +1, but that's it. You can't sell it. But like this, these are so low value, they're not changing any. Yeah, this is going to drop from 113 to 111. But hey, that's money. Sell it, make money. And I think we lost Autumn. She's probably watching YouTube again. Other YouTubers. Yeah, I'm absolutely this week we'll be dropping a kind of an advanced tips guide, which is going to cover a lot of the stuff that I just discussed earlier. You have those YouTube channels that'll have like things I wish I knew before that. It's like I'm looking at those and like those are kind of generic tips. Let's get some more advanced ones. And I might do two different videos, like one the more generic or one the more advanced. Yeah, that was my second guess. You're off reading fan fiction. You're either watching another YouTube, or you're playing video games, or you're reading fan fiction. It's always what happens to being the case when you go quiet on them. That or you fell asleep because of the cough syrup and my voice apparently put you to sleep combination. Alright, let's go kill some Slurpees. You missed it earlier, Maggie. There's you can't normally get in here at the start of the thing. It'll be blocked. And eventually you'll have a little yellow circle here, which is signifying there's a quest marker there. If you go over there, you'll talk to Sam. She's like, "Oh, this is a hazardous ruin. You gotta survive a full minute in a spar with me or one of the other members of the Civil Corps, and then you get access to back here. So those are your hazardous ruins, wasteland, and all the enemies here are hostile, like that, just outright attacking you. Because there's two types of ruins in this game. There's the abandoned ruins, which are kind of like the mines of Stardew Valley, except there's no hostile enemies there. That's just hey, it might even be better to compare them to the quarry. It's just a place to get resources. Whereas, the hazardous ruins are more like skull caverns, where you're going to be fighting enemies the whole way. Oh, I don't complain about you talking. It gets boring if I don't have anyone talking and back and forth with me. Alright, we are good. Fur, good. We need lots of fur. And we also are going to need blue leather later, so that's good that we're getting some now. Come on! Are they not respawning? That's annoying. There we go. There's one respawning. Give me fur. I need fur. Lots and lots of fur. Blue leather. Yeah, eventually we'll have a quest to go down there and find scraps down there and get dog food and yada yada yada. We'll need a blender before then. Yeah, if you're sparring with people, yeah, you'll get especially if you win, you'll get a loose little pointer drop down. You'll get a few goals, stuff like that. Or if you turn in quests, or you get stuff as well. And sometimes you'll even get they'll have an apple drop or an aroma apple or something similar. Just some kind of food item will just drop when you finish the duel. It's like a payment or reward, you guys are betting basically. All you guys are licking your poop at me. Get down here. I'll punch you. Yeah, we'll need animal pet later on for soaps, I think. Yep, and then there's the poppycock crew. And spawned. But I'm not here for those guys. I am over here for Slurpees. There we go. Bam! Alright. Oh, it's already 5:30. I just noticed the time. We've already been playing for 2.5 hours. Well, sort of playing. We had issues the first hour, so. I'm just glad I didn't get delayed today. It was It was like, oh man, this is gonna suck. I'm gonna have to put out an announcement that we're gonna be late, delayed, and then not even halfway down the road. Oh no, I'm taking care of it. You can go back home. I mean, this is the oversimplified version. It was a lot more back and forth, but I was worried I would have to go drive 40 miles into Phoenix to go do a parts run. And I wouldn't be back in time for the start of things, because when we start is when the shops also close for the parts run pickups. So it's like, oh yeah, no, this is going to be a last minute pickup. There we go. There's one. Much better. We got 18 pieces of fur from these guys. 19. Now we're going to have some leather. I'll be able to go start 10 pieces of leather. Perfect. I don't have a strong thought on the Steam Deck yet. I haven't played with it. So I can't give a strong, oh yeah, it's awesome, or oh no, it sucks. I absolutely love the idea. I love the Switch for very similar reasons. I can pick up, and I love that they ported recently Personas 3 and 4, and of course we have the physical 5. These are games that are traditionally big screen only on a console and all that. It's like, no, I can play them, I can pick it up and I can go play it on the go, but then I can also dock it and put it on a bigger screen when I get home. And Steam Deck is similar if you have cloud saves. So you can play on the go with a game that plays on the Steam Deck, and then when you get home, if it cloud saves, then you can also go put it on your bigger monitor or TV screen that you play on your computer or whatever. Like I've got a big ultra wide screen that I'm playing with here. So that's one thing if the Steam Deck works that way, I would absolutely love it. That said, there are definitely games with Steam versions that don't work well. A good example, I'm a big fan of the Atelier series, Atelier Ryza, Atelier Sophie, and so on. That same company has a side series that's kind of similar and related to it called Blue Reflection. On the Switch, we only have the sequel, Second Night, or what it's called, but you don't have the original. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll go pick it up on Steam. It's not designed to play well on Steam, so it's super laggy and everything, even on a computer that's better quality than the one I'm playing on right now. This is not a good laptop for gaming, I'll be honest. This is my work laptop. But my gaming one has got a cracked screen. But it was just I was looking into it, it's this is constantly not even 20 frames per second. It was super laggy outside of once you got into the game engine stuff, not the the cutscenes and all that worked just fine, but everything else is this is kind of unfortunate. And if that's going to be issues like that, the Steam Deck has issues like that with some games that aren't optimized properly for the Steam Deck that play just fine on regular Steam. So you got to pick, okay, what games work well for the Steam Deck that you're going to play on it, as opposed to ones that they're fun to play on Steam, but they're not optimized for the deck, and so you want to play those on your laptop or desktop or whatever. Let's see. We'll put that in V-Straps. I think that's one of those ones that's just for selling. Yellow bow tie, blue leather absolutely is going to be useful. Later on, that's actually used in some recipes. But yeah, and especially with me going back to trucking, stuff like the Steam Deck, like the Switch, are even more essential. Because it's like, I'm on the go, and sometimes I'm not even on the go in the truck. It's like, okay, my truck's in the shop, I'm being kicked off my truck. I can't play this on my, if I have a TV set up in the back or anything like that, I can't play it on the TV, I gotta go play it handheld. And, it'll be, if my truck's in the shop, it's not like, oh, hey, I know exactly, hey, it's going in. It's like, they'll come pound on my door or give me a call and say, hey, bring your truck to this bay, kind of thing. So it's like, oh, I gotta drop what I'm doing, I can't play it, and, Persona 5 Royal is a good example. I bought that when it came out, but I was already trucking at the time, and the trucking company I was working for at the time, don't have an power alternators like built in, like a really powerful way to take the power from the engine and turn it into power for like stuff we plug in. So my PlayStation 4 kept dying. I couldn't play it on there. It took me forever to finish Persona 4 Royal or Persona 5 Royal, even though I've beaten vanilla several times. Yeah, the things that release on Steam versus Switch. That was actually a conversation we had the other day. Portia has DLC. You can't take that. We don't have access to iron. Bookshelves, maybe. Let's do 4 cloth. It's 430, 448. We'll do the bookshelf. Let's see if we can do bookshelves. But we were talking about this last week. For Portia, there's a lot of DLC that is mostly clothing DLC, mind you, that, the Switch version apparently doesn't have access to. So, for examples, I've got like 2 whole chests of clothing over here. Let's see. Oh, that was not the right one. I've got these outfits, like the Future Weave outfit, the Extra Drippy outfit, all these, the DLC, the Innocent Memory, and all these, like, the character outfits. Like, if I look in some of these characters, like Emily, I have, alternate attires for her. Default, Country Passion, White Dahlia. These are DLCs that we have access to that I guess you guys don't have on the Switch. Yeah, for the Switch, you have a different DLC that we don't have access to. You have the housewarming thing with the bonuses and all that. So, and yeah, I was able to beat Persona 5 Royal. I mean, I've been off the truck for 10 months now, almost 11 months. I came off the truck at the end of April. So it's like, oh yeah, no, I can play this here at home. Oh yeah, this is absolutely the best pick. We'll make 5 of these. Don't waste anything. Go turn it on, it's done. Yeah, but like the housewarming DLC that you have on the Switch, we don't have on PC either. So, that was a conversation we were having last week, is I guess there's a lot of Switch and mobile players that are really upset that they don't have the outfit DLCs that we have on PC. On Switch, it's like, yeah, at the same time, you guys have stuff that we don't have, and you also got to keep in mind, PC is where the game started. Everything else came later. Hello, May.
I saw Merlin savaging through some old scraps of technology by the research center. What is she building this time?
Who knows? Here's your commission. Did I level up again without knowing it? No, I did not. Erwan. Or Arwa.
About you at the fireside meeting. So how long are you going to stay here? Portia is becoming a hot destination for immigration, Many people are moving here from the surrounding free cities.
But yeah, and also got to keep in mind, like, a lot of companies will do that as well. The exclusive DLCs. We were talking about this yesterday, and that may have been the day we were talking about it instead of last week. But for example, Atelier Ryza 2. If you are a physical collector like me, you like having the physical cartridge. You don't have access to, for Ryza 2 specifically, the Kirkin Island DLC. It's a digital deluxe edition only. So it's like, well, I like to have the physical cartridge. If it's on Steam, okay, yeah, absolutely, because I'm always going to have Steam access. But for my Switch, nope. Ooh, we have stuff we can chop down. It's a day we still have access to the ruins. Let's go into our ruins. Let's take one of these and get the furniture. Yeah, here's a tip: rename your stuff, your chests, and it'll alphabetize them. So we just made this from wooden storage to furniture, and it just popped right there in that order. So I've got all these unnamed ones still down here with nothing in them. And so it makes it easier to access. Okay, I've got accessories, I've got my animal drops, my cloth, my clothes, my cooked food, my raw food, all these goodies. But yeah, like console exclusive DLCs or bonuses aren't that unusual. It's sometimes annoying. Just like, pre-order bonuses, which I'm okay with if they later get released as paid DLC, or even free DLC. Just like, hey, we're going to give this out to everybody, eventually. Like, some games are like, okay, we're going to take all of the various store exclusive DLCs or bonuses and we'll combine them into a single DLC and you should have to pay like $5 for it or something. There's a lot of games that do that. And, Portia might eventually get this kind of stuff over to, like the Switch and the mobile ports. You gotta keep in mind, again, it started on the PC, and that's where everything's gonna be the most advanced. Like, they're basically done. They might do some, like, bug updates here and there for the PC, but the PC team has mostly moved on to Sandrock, and you have, like, the Switch teams, the mobile teams are their own teams, so they're working on getting it working for those systems, getting rid of the bugs that are there for those systems. And then they'll start, like, porting stuff over that's DLC, probably. Ooh, leveled up again. Look at that. Oh, we are getting to the point where we can make our DDs. So maybe we'll be able to make our DD stops as well soon. Because I would like to make the bridge today in the next hour or so before we call it a night. I'm over here, not quite the West Coast. I live in Arizona. But, so it's like, Autumn's over on the East Coast. It's getting late for her. For me, it's getting towards dinner time. And we usually run for about 4 hours. I start at, I think it's 5 Eastern and run till 9 Eastern, roughly. So, depending on what your time zone is. For me, because it's in Arizona, we don't do daylight savings. It's going to be weird for me with our next stream, because by then daylight savings will happen. So it'll be like, okay, instead of being 3 in the afternoon for me, for 5 Eastern, it's going to be like, no, I got to go at 2, from 2 to 6 now, and it's just like, oh, okay. It's weird when you have a job, like a job or anything like that deals with elsewhere and other time zones when you don't do the daylight savings, but everyone else does. Let's see, this is a longer one. Let me read this. When EA did a whole bunch of DLCs, it kind of makes you nervous because the things that are supposed to be in game, they're removed to make money, but no spillers. Well, it's not just always that. You got to keep in mind, there's a long process between when the actual game programmers have done doing the game, and now it's going through the whole process, the finalizing process, and getting it printed to put on the discs, and all of this. There's this whole long time period where the programmers are like, well, we're moving on to another project. And sometimes they get moved to a whole other game, but sometimes like with Mass Effect 2, they got put onto, okay, we'll start working on this DLC. So like for those who bought the game new, they had the Zaid DLC as a bonus. And for those who bought it used, they had to buy it as a DLC. Well, that was something they were working on between, okay, we are done working in the game, but these other teams that are, you know, developing it to be printed onto the disc or this, that, and the other, the marketing and the sales and production, all that side of things, were doing their side. So it's like, well, we have extra stuff to do. Let's work on something else for the game. So like the day one DLC, the paid DLCs, the stuff that gets cut out, isn't always like, oh no, it was cut out specifically to make extra money. Like a lot of people get that feel of it, like day one DLC, but it's not always inherently a bad thing. It's sometimes like, hey, the team is still working on something. My bigger issue is stuff like, if you're familiar with the story of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, and anything involving Troika games, honestly, they made 3 games, and every single time they got screwed over by the publisher and got rushed and put out. So, like, with Bloodlines, for example, the game was not in a state to be released. It's very similar to what happened with Cyberpunk 2077. It needed longer to get done, but the publisher was like, you need to get this out, you need to get that now. And with Bloodlines' this case especially, it was like, oh no, you were going to release it the same day as Half-Life 2. Trying to compete with one of the biggest games out there, and they couldn't get the sales up, and so it tanked the studio. That kind of thing, that is much more atrocious to me than, oh, we're going to have a little DLC. Let the game be good. One of the great things about Nintendo is, they have that mindset, of, a delayed game is eventually great, but a rushed game is never good. Kind of thing. So, yeah, Metroid Prime 4 has been, it's going to release at the end of the year for like the last 2 or 3 years, and I don't care. I'm going to love it when it comes out, eventually, but because they take the time to do it, and like they're not afraid to say, no, we're going to push this back, we're going to make sure we have a good game that is not a mess and release it. You don't hear these issues all that often with Nintendo, especially not first-party Nintendo stuff. Like Game Freak and the Pokemon team. Absolutely, you're hearing about that with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet right now. But like the main Nintendo Studio stuff, you never hear that. You will not see a bad Mario game. You will not see a bad Metroid game. Spin-offs might be not what the fans want. Like, no one wanted Federation Force, and it was not a Metroid what we wanted in a Metroid. But as a game by itself, it's not inherently bad. It's just not a Metroid. And that's where Nintendo will make mess ups. And same thing with their systems. Nintendo's not afraid to screw up with innovating things. The Wii U is an example, the Virtual Boy is an example. But they learn from their mistakes too. Activision doesn't learn from their mistakes. CD Projekt Red is trying to learn. Bethesda, we're gonna find out soon in Starfield. They've had so many screw-ups over the last few years with Fallout 76 and issues with Fallout 4 and the Creation Club and so on. It's like, is Bethesda able to learn from their mistakes? Who knows? We'll find out. That's one of the things that's great about indie developers now. It's like, yeah, they'll take their time, but they will get something good out. I mean, when I did a Harvestella review, one of the things I compared it to, of course, was Stardew Valley, and I was even honestly like, yeah, giving it a full comparison to Stardew Valley is not the best thing to do, but it's also that, and Refactor are some of the most comparable games to what this is for most people's mindsets. And someone was like, well, you can't compare it to these successful things that have had, long-running series, and I'm like, yes, I can. A, these are things people know, and B, especially in the case of Stardew Valley, that was the labor of love of one man. Harvestella was developed by an entire team from Square Enix, one of the biggest names in JRPGs. You know, the quality is night and day between the two, and it should be, but not in the way that it was. The one man team doing it as a labor of love, just way better than what Harvestella ended up. And don't get me wrong, I don't hate Harvestella, but it's not what it should have been for the price and the team developing it and all that. It should have been way better than it was. And you get something like this. This is a small team, an indie team, doing it as a labor of love. And it's a great game. It has its issues and it has its quirks, but you can see the love in every aspect of what it is. They don't shy away from, okay, yeah, we're going to make mistakes here, but we're going to own those mistakes, and we're going to do better next time. And we're going to try to improve it. Yeah, we'll let that run out. We're getting low on more than enough glass for now. We need to start making some stone bricks. I've got so much stone. Well, Team 17 is the publisher, I think. For this one, the actual developer is Pathea, Pathea, which is a Hong Kong, I think it's Hong Kong based. They're a Chinese studio. And like they've done the Two My Times, they've done Super Buckyball. They've got a mobile game which looks to be in the same vein as the My Times, but it's called Project Me. I'm on the forums for it, but I'm not I haven't gotten the access over it, so I don't know what it is. I haven't gotten hands-on with it or anything. Yeah, he's definitely working on Haunted Chocolatier, which, Stardew Valley and and when it comes out, Haunted Chocolatier are games we might play on the channel here. I specifically do those like games that are the combination of a farming or crafting or both life sim with an RPG. It has its story, it has its so on. It has the RPG mechanics, your leveling system. I mean, Stardew Valley admittedly doesn't have the greatest leveling system and stuff, the skills and all that. But like this, you got the leveling and the combat and all that. You got your skills and your perks and all that. And it has it. Rune Factory, Autumn was saying yesterday that, next time I'm back up, she wants me to do, my time on Portia one day of the weekend and then Rune Factory 5 on the other for my Steam streams. Rune Factory is the perfect hybrid of the two genres. But the My Times are really close to it as well. I love it. These are games I love. I've got Stardew Valley on both my Switch and my Steam. So, absolutely love it. And Kat, you are being whiny. I will let you out while we're paused here. Yes. I'm sure they can all hear you. I have two cats, for you, if you didn't know that name. They're a they're a breed called Bombays. They're all black, like even their noses and the beans on their toes and everything. That's all black, except for like their eyes and in case of my two, because they were neutered, the white dots on their bellies. And their names are Shadow and Bagheera. And Shadow is the one that's always whiny and loud whenever we're on stream. He wants in, he wants out, he wants attention. Bagheera's the more chill of the two, but he's also the jerk in the team. Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing. People don't understand that Stardew Valley took like 4 years before it ever saw the light of day. And then he's still, even years later, still doing releases on it. He's talking about a much smaller scale, but better for like modders and all that, version 1.6. He hasn't ruled out a version 1.7, but he's not here talking about this is what's going to be research 1.7 because he wants to focus on Haunted Chocolatier. I don't care if he takes another 4 years on Hot Chocolatier. I want it to be good. Oh, look, we got the fish display. This is not what I wanted. We're gonna have words with you, Petra. Okay, we're not gonna have words with you per se, but we're gonna have more stuff to turn in and be like, you need to make me better stuff. Let's make some fiber cloth. We're gonna need. You should, always try to have your stuff always processing, which I'm not doing very good at over here. Honestly, I don't know what to do. This one, bronze plates. Lots and lots. Oh, I don't have enough bronze. Let's get some bronze. Now we can get our 10 bronze plates. You never have enough bronze, trust me. Do. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here, Maggie. So first thing in the morning, always run to the Commerce Guild to get your commissions. Let's see, 3 simple tasks. You're gonna check first, can I make it? What are the rep points, and what are the goals? That's your 3 levels of importance early on. Photo albums, I don't know that I have a recipe for that. Water buckets, I can't make those. Those require iron, so let's do the we'll do the photo albums. We'll try that. As soon as you get done picking up your commission before Higgins gets there, make a quick run all the way over to his shop. So it's like all the way at the other end by the other gate to Portia. And you'll see it here in a second as I run there. If you're watching, I know you said you were cooking. But he's over here kind of like over near at the end near the newspaper place and the barbershop. If you get out there before he gets back, you can steal usually a copper bar and sometimes a bronze bar from one of his furnaces every day, and that's a way to help you get a good start as well. Why is my thing being icky? There we go. It was stuck up. Not being like stuck up, but like it was stuck looking up. You found the Japanese version of Oath of Peak. I'd have to look to see what the heck Oath of Peak is. I'm drawing a blank on that one. Is that another mobile game you're talking about there, Autumn? I'm assuming not, since you're specifically the Japanese version, but... Let's see, photo albums. Ooh, okay. Yeah, go run to the Commerce Guild. You gotta beat him there. Like, Commerce Guild opens at 8 a.m. Go in, check the things, like... First and foremost, make sure it's something you can make, obviously. We had that earlier a couple times. The last one from the last stream was like, oh, I need my level 2 work table. I can't make this. And it happened again this morning, or at the start of the thing, like, oh, I need iron. That's a whole other room ahead. So obviously, make sure you can make it first. Then you want to get your rep points first. Focus more on what has the higher rep points. Because you want to get your rep up to get to that third rank, first rank, and so on, as soon as you can, and then you worry about the goals. Now, late game, you're like, I don't care. It's like, I can make everything. Let's just get on the goals. So, like, here, I'm just gonna... Yep, there's my 2 photo albums I'll make. And I'll go turn it in. Another interesting tip for you, Maggie, since you're not going to see my video until Thursday. Don't walk around your property with your axe. You can see this little icon beneath me. When I have my axe, that's not there when I have anything else. Your axe is going to be used to chop, like, if I'm going to chop up the furnace here, it'll destroy the furnace. It won't, like, destroy it. It'll put it back in your inventory. And it'll break apart everything that was inside it and put it, like, on the ground or in your inventory as well. So... Hello, Presley.
When I was your age, I worked for...
Yeah, you worked all day and now you're the commissioner. We don't care. Nora!
Hello! This is a hot weather. People get dehydrated easily at the church. I've talked to Minister Lee about giving the talk in a sheltered place, but that obstructs the light, he said.
Well, here, have these. Have some photo albums. But yeah, it's those little tips like that. Like, I'm gonna do a video. I recorded a partial one this morning, earlier today, but I didn't realize my audio was out for it, so I have to re-record it. But yeah, this Thursday, usually it'll be noon my time, so it'll be 1 o'clock your time in the afternoon, where you're at, Maggie. My videos go live on Thursdays, and I'm going to have one that's like tips for Portia. Next week will probably be a tips for Sandrock, and I don't know what'll be the week after that. But, just get those out there. Let me get a drink real quick. But, it's like one of those things. Like I said, I've been playing this game since before it came out full release. All those little tips that the game doesn't really teach you quite well, but it's like, oh, hey, I can do this. And it's similar to Sandrock. Like, you can, although in that one they do tell you, because your rival in that was a more of a friendly rival. And she's just like, oh yeah, no, you can go get some of the meat off my drying rack every day, if you want. So you can get like dried jerky, which is just like you can make in both games. It's just putting meat on a drying rack, and it restores a little bit of stamina. It's useful early game, but not so much later on. Sandrock's, a lot of their tips will be very similar to here, but there's a few changes here and there because of the changed mechanics and so on. Like in this game, you absolutely need tons and tons of wood, but because Sandrock takes place in a desert, it's a lot more scarce, and they put in some mechanics that you don't need wood to power everything anymore. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. I don't need to rely on wood. I need to, conserve my wood. Whereas in this one, it's like every third day I have to go destroy every tree in sight, or once a week because they respawn once a week. Once I get done out here, like, we'll have an entire day of me just deforesting everything nearby. Gotta love that. Just tinkering away. Tink. 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 Oh, missed it. I do like that, unlike Stardew Valley, like in Stardew Valley, if you swing a tool and it doesn't accomplish anything, you still use your stamina. In this game, it doesn't have that. That is one advantage that this game does have over Stardew. I can just swing this into air and it won't use my stamina. So I can just swing like this, and my stamina's not changing at all. I'm still at 300 the whole way. Whoops! I just fell into a wall. There's no relics. Right. I may need to reset this before too long. We're running out of relics and copper. Ooh, there's a nice little chunk up on the wall. I love being able to find stuff on the walls. It's just like, oh no, this makes the jetpack more fun and useful. Just, oh, I'm gonna explore another fun aspect of these games. Not every game uses full verticality as well as some others, It's like Dishonored was great from that. You had all the verticality and everything. Prey did the same thing. And Portia. You know, who would have thought a farming life sim, crafting sim, whatever game would be like, oh no, we're gonna use the full 3 dimensions to their fullest extent. You're gonna jetpack up and mine on a frickin' wall. And it's stuff like that. It's like, dude, AAA games wouldn't think of this kind of thing. They'd be like, no, we're gonna do other stuff. And so verticality isn't as big a thing in it. And you both gone quiet. I'm guessing Autumn's reading more fan fiction and Maggie's having dinner with the kids and family. That's fine. We're getting near the end of this stream here. We got about 45 minutes a day left. Yeah, hijacking things from Higgins is useful, but it's only useful for early on. Once you get to like the second ruins, your second set of like abandoned ruins and all that, so, you know, named the abandoned ruins too, you know, very creatively. It becomes less of an issue because again, he only ever has copper and sometimes bronze. I've never seen him have anything higher. You might get lucky and see him with iron or something like that when you get higher up, but I've never seen it. And again, you know, iron is... Oh, now you're playing Portia while I'm playing Portia. Gotta love it. Portiaception. But yeah, Higgins is like... Also, let me kind of show you this thing here. You won't see the numbers here, I don't think, on others. I have a mod, just so you know. My mods aren't anything that is cheat, but I do have like a couple display things. Like one mod lets me change the length of my it removes the length limits on names, so I could name myself longer stuff. And the other is it displays a little bit more about your relationships. So like when we come over here to Higgins, you can see he's at negative 50. And you cannot level him up. You talk to him, nothing. He doesn't get a +1 faction. Supposedly, you can get him to be a buddy and a best friend. I've not seen that happen. Maybe it's a post-game thing. But during the course of the game, I wouldn't even bother with Higgins. But you also have these icons here that show, okay, like this. This is you can duel Higgins. Pinky, you can gift. Polly, you can gift and play rock, paper, scissors with. So you'll have these little icons on there that tells you, hey, this is what you can do with this person. I don't go live on Thursdays. I just do I record a video and I post it. And so it's usually about a 15 to 30 minute video. It's like a video guide. Like we just got done with Harvestella last week. And so you'll look like some of them are, hey, here's my thoughts on this game. Most of them are, here's, the basics of what the farm is. Here's a more advanced guide on what the farm is. Here's all the class guides and so on. So for Portia, that's our question of the day is, well, what kind of guides do you want to see? So guide full of all these kinds of hints that I've been talking about on here. That's one of the first things I'm going to do. And I'll probably have a couple of different ones on those. Autumn was asking a better one for a little bit more detailed one on the ruins, so I might do one going, okay, this is what an abandoned ruins is, this is a hazardous ruins. Here's where the difference lies, here's where it matters to go between one abandoned ruins to the next, and stuff like that. So, in Portia, in this ruins, we have 3 color types. You have, you can kind of see them all here. You have this gray, this is going to be stone and maybe soil. You got this kind of tannish right here, this little small section, this is going to be sand. There you go, you can hear that sand soil sound. And then you got the darker brown, the copper here. If I go to the next dungeon, I'm going to have these same 3 colors, but I'm going to have new colors, because in Portia, every ruin, abandoned ruins, has all the same materials as the last one. It just adds new ones. Whereas, Sandrock No, each dungeon, like you get to the second abandoned ruins, you don't have access to bronze and tin anymore in there. You have new stuff. And so if you still want to make or copper and tin, and if you still want to make bronze bars, well, you got to go back to the first one. And so that's one of those differences that I'm going to highlight between the two in those kinds of videos. So like, I'll do 1 week, I'll do a video on here's tips for Portia, and the next week here's tips for Sandrock, and they'll be largely the same, but there'll be those slight differences between the games. And then maybe the next week will be here's what the ruins are like in Portia, and now here's what the ruins are in Sandrock, and how they're different. Those kinds of videos, and I'll post those on Thursdays. And they'll usually go live about noon my time, or so noon mountain time, so it'll be about 1 o'clock your time, 2 o'clock Eastern. And so there's stuff like that, like, you can come in here, if you're in the ruins, you can hit, your map key to bring up your map, and it'll show you, it kind of just munches it here. If you hit E, I don't know what it'll be on Switch, you'll have a button that you can go, hey, I can go back to this. Yeah, you won't, and we're still on it in this one, but like, on my other playthrough, like, I've got, kind of in here, I'll show you, I've got 3 files on here. I've got Sleep, which is our current playthrough that we're doing for the stream. There's Demo Girl, which is the one I made today for doing, like, here's what it looks at the very beginning. Here's this what stuff you got to do. And then there's this one which is using my real world name and that horrible hat that's like my personal playthrough, but that's the late game. But it's not all the way at the end of the game. So like one of the things that Autumn was asking is, hey, how do I get carbon fiber easily? And I don't have that. I'm not at a point in this playthrough to do that. Whereas, and that's my furthest of the 3 playthroughs. You can see I started that one way back in June of 2021. Whereas these ones are more recent. So, it's one of those things of, okay, well, we'll do these videos, we'll show all this kind of stuff, and that's what those videos will be for Thursdays. But then the weekends that I'm home, when I take home time from off the truck, then I'll go live, again, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, on both Saturday and Sunday. And again, I'll let you, links to Twitter and Discord are in the description. It's like, those will be where I'll be like, hey guys, I'm going to be home this weekend. Sort all of those. Ooh, I need to put leather in the spots. Give it a spot. Okay. Now, if I want to make the DVDs, how much leather do I need? Ooh. I need 2 single seats per, so I need 10. Which means I'm going to need 20 leather. Okay, so I need to make more leather. Well, that was our last day for the ruins, so we will take care of getting more fur tomorrow. Usual. But yeah, always keep your stuff, if you have stuff that you can process, absolutely keep your processing machines running at all times. I'm not the best at that, I'll be the first to admit. But it's absolutely a thing that you should be doing, Like, for example, I don't have this one running, because it's like, yeah, I don't have enough bronze to do more bronze pipes. Copper pipes aren't too terribly used. Copper wire, I could absolutely do about another 13 of those. Get some of those running, because we'll need that later on. I'm going to need 25 glass just for the DDs. We got the tires, we got the engines. We got the fiber cloth. You don't have those. We do have that. Cool. We're good for the most part. We just really need to get that then. Alright, and sort everything. Yeah, you can hit sort all, and this is really useful. It takes everything out of your inventory, and if there's a spot for it in one of your chests, it'll throw it in there for you. It's a really good button. And again, I don't know the Switch stuff, so I don't know like where the commands and all that, how that those will differ. But there's a lot of useful stuff in this game that makes it look. The only downside is you got to pick stuff up and put it in your inventory and then hand it to build stuff on your thing. Whereas Sandrock, they changed that as long as it's in one of your boxes in your inventory or something. It's good. And we no longer have access to the ruins. That was our last day. So first things first, we're just heading over here. Boom. Hello, Pinky, in the way. Usually run into you out here. And we're not having to haul running because we didn't bother with our furnaces, but bam, we beat Higgins over here. Come here, Higgins, I'm gonna punch you. Yeah, punch you. But let me, like I was saying, like you can chat with him.
Commissions, the more the better.
But you didn't get any relationship with him. He can't erase relationship. I never bothered with him in a post game, so I don't know if that ever changes. Supposedly he does have relationship perks, but I've never seen a way to get him relationships. You can't gift him. So he's just there to be the guy you hate. Oh wow, B rank. Desk lamps. I don't know if I can make those. We'll try it. That'd be awesome if we can make those, because that's a B rank. That'll give us a lot of points. That might be one we need to buy for the recipe from Polly for. I hope not. Because his recipes are expensive. Nope! We can build it. Woohoo! We even have one already, so we just need to make one. It's in the accessories then, isn't it? Yep, there it is. Yeah, you'll also notice, let me demonstrate something here. I have a perk. One of the best perks in this game is this one here, Artisan. At 4 out of 4, you have 20% material cost reduction. So you'll find stuff like, let's just go look at that again. The desk lamp. So you'll see here, it's like, to make one, it's 3.2 copper bars, 1.6 copper wire, 2.4 glass. So sometimes it's really good to just make 5 of them to actually get the benefit out of that perk, which I haven't been doing because it's so early in the game. But a lot of these things, it's like, okay, someone's gonna ask for it again later, or failing that, I can go sell it on a day that has high values. Oh, we didn't go run this to over here. Let's go steal his thing before he gets there. We're almost ahead of him. Boom! Sprinting! Get past him, Higgins. We're gonna steal your thing. Oh, no, it's gone. Oh, and there's Sam again in her pimp outfit. I love that outfit on her. There's a lot of outfits from that DLC I don't care for. I love it on her. Hey, chat.
I wish I could drag my equipment outside and do some sewing in the sun.
And here's your commission. Here's your stuff. Bam! 835 goals. It's actually 1,002 because I got that upgrade. At 4 out of 4 too. That is really nice. 20% more stuff. So that perk here I was talking about also, Commerce Hotshot. This is really, really, really useful. Because that's going to help you jump up and get in the first place. But anyways, we're going to go get us some fur so we can get more leather. And then once we're ready to build the DDs, then we'll finally build the bridge, hopefully before the end of the day. Like, build the DDs tomorrow and the bridge. And, hopefully be ready for the next time. We can be like, okay, we're going to do the next step of the, storyline, because again, here we are. We're in the middle of summer. Well, not quite middle, but early summer. We've gone through an entire season, and we haven't done the first real quest of the game. It's absolutely take your time, don't rush it. Because some of them will be time-based, like again, the DDs. Ow. Spitting at me. Take that. Take a little of this, too. Oh, you two want some? How about this? Bam. Gonna punch you all in the face. Ooh, a Flirty. We didn't have one of these last time. Here's another example of the spawns a level 20 plus version. And this one hurts because he just cries and his tears hurt you. Boy, don't claw at that. Oh wow, we just got our butts kicked. We just up and died. Do we have some roast we can heal with? Whatever. We have a little bit of money, don't we? Yeah, we have a little bit of money. We'll heal today. We'll pay for this. Here's another little advanced tip kind of thing. You can come in here to the diner. There'll be this like pile of food sitting over here for dining. I'll have a today's special over here and you can see what it is. So like if I wanted to do that, I can automatically get those in. It's only 21 goals. In this case, it's saving me 30%. You know, and those will help you heal. It's like stamina or sometimes health. Once the defense increases, let's get some smoked meat. Experience increase, damage, defense, critical damage, melee. Critical also, you get some nice over here, dessert, boom. Spend your money, get your stamina up. Unfortunately, I don't think this one heals for health. It looks like it healed a little bit. Nope, no, never mind. I was at an angle. Let my cat in because he was whining. When you build the grill, I mean, you can build the grill as early as you want. It's one of your starter recipes. Let's go show you what the grill has got. It's not the greatest thing in the game. Oh wow, look at all those buffs I got. So yeah, you have a lot of buffs you can pick up from this. So here's the grill. You have two recipes. Grilled catfish, roasted meat. Neither of which is great. The grilled catfish is the better of the two, I think. You get 30 hit points per second for 6 seconds as opposed to 15 for 5 seconds. Oh yeah, no, you can go to the restaurant. You can do that. But yeah, I can do roasted meat for this. I have a recipe for the cooking station, although I can't make it yet because it requires iron. Let's do that. The Fuhrer we just got. Get some more leather. But, so like, I can sort all those. I've got cooked food here that I can do, so if I want to heal up, like, I can do the roast meat. That's a slower buff, heal over time buff. Juice is a defense buff that might be useful for that Furby, if I really want to fight him again. Then you get like these little hit points over time, and these are not greatest. Later on, you'll get stuff that is like, oh, I'm gonna heal you, 8% of your health, or 5% of your health. Yeah, the early game healing items are not great, but like, okay, let me do this. I'm gonna eat one of those for 5 seconds. I'm gonna run and I'm gonna heal up like that. And just as I'm running, it's gonna tick, tick, tick like that, okay? Let me eat another. And so it can add up over time. I mean, these are not inherently bad. But... Oh, hello, QQ. Yeah, they're not great. I mean, later on you'll get the ones that are percentage-based healing, all that. So, like... Oh, hey, Phyllis.
Hello.
Hi.
How does someone's mental health affect one's physical being? Sorry, I was miles away. If you have an ailment, please come to the clinic.
I will gift you my Asteria. I know you like it.
Thank you for giving me a present.
But, you know, food is not always the only way to heal. Let's actually go back to my house for this, since we're talking about that. You know, Dr. Shu, for example, will give you the herbs that you can turn later on into, like, medicinal stuff, and you've got first aid kits and stuff like that. There's other ways to heal. So, let's see. Do I have a... let's see. I do not have one for that tip. So, like, raw food. I've got, like, herbs. Restore 10 hit points each. Later on, you can turn those into, like, a medicinal drink, or you'll be able to make, like, bandages and all that. So there's better healing options out there. Ate it. I won't spoil him.
Get up real early each morning to watch the sunrise. It's my favorite routine.
Yeah,
Bye.
he's a spoiler. He's kind of a spoiler character. Well, it's not so much that he's a spoiler as he's a character that people, the fan communities, like, debates on. It's like, oh, is he this? You know, because it's one of those things, like, there's hints to it, but nothing confirmed. Well, yeah, you can see I've got, you know, I'm getting 75 health from one of these. It's just not all at once. And so, you know, boom, I'm up, really back close on to my health again. I had to eat 10 of the dang things as I was running around. Because, again, they're not great healing items. But they are what they are. We'll avoid the Flurpy. And you just gotta get better at the combat too, the dodges and all that. Like, you can see I'm getting stun locked here. I can absolutely be getting my butt kicked here, if I let them. Do. Just kind of hit and run with these guys. Because I'm not, like, the good levels or good whatever, but we will get our vengeance. And you can cry all you want. I'm gonna make you cry. But you can't hurt me from tears anymore. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, Flurpy done. Was it worth it? Absolutely not. But we got it done. But yeah, like, going back to the topic in the restaurant, you'll sometimes see them as, like, as low as, like, 90% off for the meal deals. And they're great ways to restore stamina early on when you don't have either a ton of stamina or access to the drying rack. Like, I don't think we have the drying rack recipe yet. Let me see. Yeah, I still don't have the drying rack recipe. And it is one of the best things you can craft. Because there's a dish that you can do. You dry apples or aroma apples, and you'll get dried apple rings. And those restore like 10% stamina per thing. So, you know, late game when you're 5, 6, 700, stamina. It's just like, okay, boom, there's a big chunk of stamina. Yes and no. For those who are not watching live, the question is it better to unlock space for inventory early on in the game? Yes and no. Let me show you my character. I have unlocked these ones. This is it. That's it. And we're about a month in. But you can see there's a ton of these. Yeah, I can afford to unlock this if I want to. You're better off using lots of wood because you have so much access to wood in this game, and wood is used for everything. Build yourself a lot of wood storage, and again, label them, name them, organize them well, and that's going to be better off for you. Maybe buy a row or two, but early on, it's not as essential to have like a ton of inventory space. Buy it up as you need it. Is going to be my advice. It's better to have more space at your workshop. Oh yeah, let me. It's 8 o'clock in the day here. Let's go in the evening. Let's head back home. Let me find my. Okay, here we go. Go around this way. And I want you to show it. Just see it. Just like it takes 20 wood to make a wooden storage, but you have this recipe at the start, and that's all I've got right now. But later on, you can upgrade it to better, bigger storage spaces. But I mean, let me show you just how much storage I have. But yeah, and as you level up your storage space in your inventory, it gets really expensive. Like on my other playthrough, I haven't maxed it out. And I can even switch over and we'll show you. It's like I'm on the final page, but I haven't maxed it out. It gets really expensive. It's like several thousand goals to do one row. But, for my storage, let's demonstrate here. I've got these 4 chests here, all of these chests here, plus all these chests here, plus these 3 chests here. And you can see, I mean, I've got them organized. I've got, here's accessories, beast drops, cloth, clothes, cooked food, farming, fish, furniture, metals, miscellaneous, ores, raw food, raw materials, relics. You're going to eventually have a bunch of relics ones. Tech. And then my unnamed wooden storage ones. That'll, I'll name as I need them. Like, I just got the furniture one. Okay, well, boom, I got a strange mirror. We'll throw that in there. I don't need it right now. Sort all those. So, here, I got the sort all button, and you can see, all 5 of these are going to disappear into my storage. Oh, no, not that one, because I don't have a spot for it in there. So I'll put that in my cloth, because I used up all of it. Crafting complete. Both good. That's not complete. That's complete. Excellent. Refill that. We have lots of glass for now. We need some stone bricks. We need a lot of stone bricks. And always bronze. You never have enough bronze. Later on, you never have enough iron. Yeah, you absolutely name it. And here's the thing we noticed when I did that the first stream. It won't automatically organize them in their order. But here, let me here, let's say, okay, so normally, here's just an unnamed wooden storage. In the first time around, it was if I would do okay, I'm gonna name them, but it wouldn't resort them this way. But now you can see, okay, I've got relics 1, relics 2. So let me come down to, we'll have wooden storage down here, and I'll rename this one to relics 3. After you've done a single save and load of your game, now I sort that, and boom, it's going to automatically organize it for me. On your first, when you're first starting your game and all that, and you're playing, you got to quit and save, or save and quit and come back, and it'll do that for you. But then, yeah, you can name them and sort them, and believe me, I'm going to use that relics 3. And eventually I'll upgrade this to, there's better storage ones that use metal and all that. You get that will open up more of these spaces down here. And I know in Sandrock, if you do, like, when you build those, you can plant them down on top of that. I don't remember if that's the case of Portia. I think it is, but we'll double check that when we get that. Because I don't think we have that recipe yet. Let me see. There's wooden storage. Metal storage. Yeah, we don't have strength and glass yet. But yeah, I can make one of these later on once I have strength and glass, and I can pop that down. And I think I can pop it down on top of the one, and it renames this to that one, and keeps all the ingredients inside it. So we'll test that out once we get strength and glass. I don't have the ingredient to make it. But here, like, we'll go to bed here, save, and then I'll switch over to my other save file here to demonstrate something else for you, because you were asking about, like, is it worth it to buy it? You know? Like, okay, we're looking in here at my inventory right now. Just to get this last row is going to cost me 900 goals. That's a lot of money early on. Yes, I can buy it, but that's still a lot of money. But later on, let's switch over to, this count with the ugly, horrible hat, which is why I often hide my hats. And that is an option, by the way. You can do a show or hide hat option. And this is the one where I'm married to Ginger, so you'll see her walking around outside my single bed because I haven't bothered to get a double bed for her. But, I've got all of these upgrades here, and I'm on this one, and it's going to cost me 15,300 goals to get this one row. It gets expensive really fast, to answer your question. And yeah, I could go out and get my reward from the previous day because we're, the start of summer here, and then buy that. Order for this time because we're not going to save this. And you'll see just how much it jumps up in price between each row that you buy. I think your first row is like 200, and then your next row is 500. Then it's the 900 or something like that. It's expensive. But let's see. Workshop rankings. There we go. Oh, that's for So I just got 10,000 goals. And here again, like I was talking about, Dragon Suit. Really important to have. Because where is it? There it is. Defense +1. But like this, open it up. Oh yeah, it's a file cabinet. It's a piece of furniture. But like, okay, let's look here. Okay, I can buy this row, unlock it. That's going to get me 8 more slots to hold stuff in. And then the next one, jump from 15,300 to 23,000 goals. It gets really expensive over time to upgrade this. And unlike some of the other stuff, there is no one that you can like build a relationship to make this cheaper. So you're better off, as you need it. If like you go into the ruins and like, oh, I'm out of space, but I have enough money, let me buy another row. Great. But absolutely, you can see I've got these metal storages over here that you can see I've got all of this. And again, accessories, badges, beast drops, cloth, clothes, clothing gear, cooked food, farming, fish, fruit and vegetables, furniture, medicine, metal, miscellaneous, ores, raw food, raw materials, relics, or relic soldiers. Just for relic soldiers. These guys. Relics 1 through 3. Tech. I've got all of these, and I've replaced all my wood with metal. That is the way to make your money, which is to have your storage. And we haven't unlocked it on our other playthrough right now, but you'll see the Commerce Guild, they have a Saturday weekend thing where you can do the inspections, and you'll get rewards like these if you do them all and you do well. And this is the most important of the ones, and I think you get it almost every time. This is what we need to make that reinforced glass to make those better metal storage things that we need right now. These are nice. This is more useful once you get later on. But absolutely, there's... so we'll go back over to sleep. And yeah, that answers your question for you. Like, is it worth it to buy it up? Yeah, small amount here and there. But it gets expensive really fast. It builds up. And I'm not at the end of the game in this. Again, I'm about 2/3 of the way through it, maybe. On that playthrough. So it's not like, oh, I'm at the absolute end, but I'm also an S rank workshop. And I'm getting double S rank stuff that I can do around the thing. I'm the top workshop in the entire thing on that playthrough. So, yeah, take your time. Don't rush anything. Some stone, get some leather. Run on up here. I think this is going to be our last day in game today, so I think we'll have to do our bridge next time. Or we might do the bridge first, and then we'll, like, finish up the... but we won't turn it in until we finish the DDs next time. But yeah, there's a lot of little interesting things like that. It's like, oh wow, I didn't know you could do that. Here's an example of what I was talking about. Our town is in urgent need of 1 DD stop. We don't have this recipe, so I can't do this. But you can see 13,100 goals, 200 XP, 200 rep points. These are good examples of the ones. 5 sprinklers. We can't do that either. So, she needs charcoal. Nope. We'll do his. 2 small chairs. You know, we can't do these. We don't have the recipes for them. But those are absolutely, you can see, these are worth much more. 950 goals. The other one was 1,000 goals, 200 XP, 200 rep, 1,300 goals. We don't have the recipe for the DD stop, though. It's unlocked with later on. And sprinklers are the same way. Those are through a quest later on. But we're you know, because this is one of the downsides too, taking your time, it's like, oh yeah, you're building those up as so at the point that you're like, I can't do this. But you're going to run into that a lot early on anyways. You're going to have those, like, the first day is like, oh, I need copper blades. I don't have a thing to make copper blades. I need bronze bars. I haven't even been into the ruins yet. But yeah, and I think I mentioned this, don't swing your axe in here. But we're going to go out and we're going to deforest this whole area. Because you need wood for everything. Yeah, you're further in the story than I am right now, Autumn. My current playthrough, I just finished the Portia Harbor, and we've got like the real antagonist of the game showed up, the Rogue Knight. But you know, like I said, that's about 2/3 of the way through the game, so there's absolutely still stuff for me to do. There's another abandoned ruins I still have to unlock. There's the, I think it's called the Deepest Ruins or something like that, which is like a place that has vending machines and all that. You know, absolutely, when you unlock a new ruins, find the next point that you can stop the story where there's nothing like time-based or anything like that, and go, okay, I'm going to spend like 2 weeks to a month delving this ruins, unlocking all the stuff I can do. I just got all these new things I can make, you know, new tools. We got like the abandoned ruins too. Oh, I have access to iron now. I can make my iron this and I can make my iron that. But one of the things I do absolutely love about this game is, and I mentioned this in our stream, I think last week or the week before, Maggie, is the world changes as you progress the story. Like, we're still super early on in this one here. We haven't even finished the bridge. But, like, the bridge is a great example. You build the bridge. Well, there's always a bridge there. You know, as the story progresses, oh, we need to build these DD stops, which are like your fast travel points throughout the game. Well, now you can start placing those around the place, and they're permanently there. They are permanent taxes points that you can fast travel to. You know, you get, oh, we need to build a bridge to the desert because we want to, you know, connect to Sandrock, and we want to make this like a transportation hub and all this. So you're building bridges and the harbor and all these things around the town, and they're permanent changes to the world that you don't see in a lot of games. Like, compared to Stardew Valley, aside from the the big bundle bonuses at the community center or JoJo Mart, where it's like, oh, you get your greenhouse, or we fixed up the mine carts, or the bus, or whatever. There's no huge world-changing things in the world as you progress the story. In this one, absolutely. And you've got so many relationships, choices that you have in here. I mean, okay, talking just relationships. There's 4 people here on my front page. Half the characters on this front page are ones that you can romance and have a relationship with. Next page, 7 of the 8. Next page, 7 of the 8 again. Well, we'll say 6. Next page, you've got 3 of the 5 of the 8, and so on. There are so many romanceable characters. And even just like side characters like Dolly. Hey, let's have a relationship with her. Okay, there's no benefits to it. Whatever. But, might get scenes out of it later. Kind of like how Stardew has if you level up Vincent and Jazz eventually at like 8 hearts, or, they get the scene where, what is it, the spring onions triple in value or something like that. It's like, okay, it's not great, but it's something. This game is full of that kind of stuff. You'll have side quests that only happen if you're at a certain relationship with a character at a certain time, or, you're not above a certain relationship factor with someone. And again, there's relation perks that, not even necessarily romance. There's just, hey, friendship perks, Gale, the mayor, one of the most important ones to have a relationship with, because buying your final upgrade to your property, like, okay, you see how small it is now, and this is after 1 upgrade? When it's finally upgraded, it will go all the way up to this stone wall here, and all the way down, all the heck way down here as well. This whole property, this whole area that we just deforested, that will become just my workshop space when you have a max thing. But it's super expensive. Your final one costs like 250,000 rolls. Cat, get down from there. You know better to be up there. Oh, you're gonna double down and lay down. Okay, I see how it is. My desk is one of those ones that has like the high back thing behind it. It's like a cabinet or like bookshelf attached to the top of it. He just decided he's gonna jump up there and be up top and just look down at me. That's Bagheera. He's the jerk. Maybe one day we'll have a face and cat reveal. Yeah, no, you don't. But I think you do have like the reduced fatigue thing. Yeah, well, Harvest Hill is another game that we just got done playing that has the same thing. You pass out or you get killed in combat, and you wake up and, oh no, we're taking some of your money. And it's less about my intention. He just wants to be where he's not supposed to be. He's a very high-minded cat. He's one of those ones that's like, no, I don't care. I'm gonna go be up on the counters. I'm gonna go be way up here. Yeah, he's a bit of a jerk. He likes to beat up my aunt's cat. She's a very much wuss of a cat. We were talking about this yesterday. I've seen her get her butt kicked by a dust bunny. Yeah, a dust bunny. Not even an actual rabbit. A dust bunny. And, because she's so timid, he likes to go in there, but she also has issues with other cats. So she'll start growling and hissing, and he's in there, and he's like, oh, you want to play, huh? And so he picks her butt every time. He likes to be where he's not supposed to be. But yeah, he'll go with me on the truck once I leave. They both love being on the truck. I was joking about this earlier. Last time I was on the trucks, it was interesting because they would take shifts. Bagheera, the jerk one, would be down like either like on the seat next to me or on the floor next to me, or maybe even in the back in the bunk on the lower bunk, but usually fairly close to me during the day. And then at night, he would go up to the top bunk, and Shadow would come down to the top bunk and spend time with me in the bottom. So it's like they were taking shifts of watching over their mom. No, it's not Linus. Linus is a good boy. When you pass out outside, it actually specifically says that it's from Joja. It's Joja that's robbing you. And even after they're gone, I think it's like, oh, someone next found you. But like, if you pass out in your house, like people have had that like literally 1 pixel away from the "would you want to sleep for the night" thing in their bed when they pass out. You don't lose your money or anything. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen when you're outside but also on your farm. It's only when you're inside the house that it changes. All right. We have deforested this area. We've killed the frickin' llamas. We have done a lot of. Ooh, I got a bunch of bird's nests. I forgot about those. Ooh, eggs too. Yeah, Joja's like when you pass out in Stardew, you'll get a letter in your mail from like Joja saying, "Hey, one of our reps found you, and they took you home, and we're taking our fee for recovery and all that kind of thing." You'll get a letter like that when you pass out in Stardew. So it's Joja who's stealing your stuff when you pass out, at least. I think Linus is the one who's finding it when you're in the mines, though. I don't know what to do with this. It's not even as good as what I'm wearing now, is it? No, it's nowhere near. But again, this is DLC, like backroom stuff. I know. All right, let's restock all of these, and then we'll go to bed. And I think we'll call it a day on this stream. And I will hopefully be back in 3 weeks' time, and then after every other weekend after that. But because this time it's like I'm going to be in orientation all week this week, or it's going to be like Wednesday when it starts, so I won't get onto my own truck till like Thursday night or Friday. And then 2 weeks of being on the road before I can have home time. So about 3 weeks is the plan for hopefully be the next stream. And there we have it. The Saturday 6th of summer. We have all our skills. Like this is the basic build for anything, I would say. And yeah, we're gonna call it there for the day. This is obviously it's the only saving place is when you sleep, but it's been about 4 hours. So I need to, get up, go to use the restroom, get some food, etc., etc. Let my cats back loose because they've been in here the whole 4 hours with me. Well, this one has. He's the one who's getting restless now. And I'll catch you guys next time. And don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc. You two have obviously been active the whole while, but join the Discord. There should be a link in there. It's not adding me as your follower on there. It should be a link to the channel or to the Discord server. But let me switch over to that real quick since you were saying you were having issues with it. All right. All right, let's try this. Let me invite people. Edit invite link. No max number of uses. Never expires. Generate a new link. Copy. All right. And we'll post that right here. See if this link works for you for the Discord. And hopefully that will work for you so you can join in the Discord. And that'll, it's an actual Discord channel. or a server rather. And that's where my announcements will be. I've got, done a couple, just a couple things. I've got a general channel, an announcements channel, and I'm streaming channel. So it's nothing huge, but it is what it is. And I'll hopefully see you guys here when I come back in a couple weeks. For everyone else, keep on watching. And remember, we'll be back in a few weeks for streams, but videos will continue at regular scheduled times, and there may be bonus ones over the weekends that I'm gone. Catch you all